Welcome to Hot to Trot. This is not your normal horse racing podcast. I'm Ashley Eisenbiel.
And I'm Meadow Twaddle, and we're your hosts for Hot to Trot. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Hot to Trot. We have a special mini episode for you guys today. As always, I'm Meadow.
And I'm Ashley, and we are kicking off a special series with Jessica Paquette, the announcer at Parx Racing, and also the host of On the Rail. Hey, Jessica, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to get to showcase all of the men and women that make horse racing so great here in Pennsylvania. And of course, the horses. On the Rail has been kind of a labor of love with the TV crew here at Parx. They do an amazing job telling the stories of all these people, and we're excited to share it.
We're excited to share it too with our listeners. But first, let's catch up with you. What have you been up to lately? How are things at Parx?
Everything is great. We had the Super Pennsylvania Derby. It was, I think, one of the best we've had yet since I've been here. The crowd was amazing. The races were amazing. And now we're just kind of going into winter where post times get earlier, the days get shorter, but we do have some stakes races coming up the end of December. We have 4 stakes races on the 30th, 3 on the 31st. And then before you know it, all of these 2-year-olds are 3.
I know. I can't wait. See some new horses hit the track next year, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, Jessica, what are you most excited about in Parx right now? And are there any storylines or any horses that have really caught your eye this season that you're excited to come back next season?
I think this has been a really interesting season, and there's a horse running in the Remsen this coming weekend, Concarno, for Mariah Montoya, who I think is the nicest 2-year-old I've seen here at Parx in a long time. And of course, Butch Reed has Kappa Kappa, who not 2, but has turned out to be a legitimate graded stakes sort of horse. Nice horses can come from anywhere. And one of the cool things here at Parx is because we have year-round racing, is we get to see so many nice horses begin their careers here and then have the option of kind of everywhere in the Mid-Atlantic to go if they want to try some deeper waters. Though I will admit, my favorite horse currently running, still Aoife's Magic, Pennsylvania bred champion from a couple of years back. Her comeback has been remarkable, and I do think she has a win in her coming up soon.
Awesome. Well, you're doing a lot of fun things outside of the racetrack, too. You're getting ready to go to symposium. I've seen you talk on a couple different panels about women in racing, and you're also a mentor with Amplify Horse Racing. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing for the industry outside of the track.
Well, I think it's so important once we get ourselves into a position where anyone cares what we think or say to be able to give back. And it's been such a gift to be able to go speak and tell my story, but also to offer some advice and hopefully help the younger generation, because none of us got here by ourselves. We all got here because someone held the door for us. Being a mentor with Amplify has been one of the most rewarding things I've done in a long time in racing. My mentee, AJ, goes to the University of Kentucky. And when I tell you, we would have been best friends when we were teenagers if we had grown up together. She's just so cool and loves racing. And I'm so inspired by a young person who's so enthusiastic to work in this industry. And I hope that the sky's the limit for her.
Oh, I love that. I get inspired too every day by Meadow. I have to say it. We just filmed another one yesterday, our Christmas end of the year, and just seeing the growth and like them come into their own and realize like what they want to do and get their voice. It's been amazing. Meadow's not part of Amplify, but maybe I feel like she's a little bit of my mentee, except for I am not the star of being on air. I just support people's dreams.
But that's the important thing, is we can support the next generation in so many ways. And it's a gift to be able to do that and to be able to give back to an industry that has given us all so much.
Well, I know when this airs, it's going to be after the symposium. Talk a little bit about what the symposium is to maybe some of our listeners that don't know, and the panel that you're actually speaking on, because I'm so sad I'm not going to be able to make it this year and see it.
So the symposium is kind of the annual horse racing conference where we all get together and talk about ways we can improve the sport, what we've done right, what we can do better. There are always some really interesting panels. And in my role with the Turf Publicists of America, I'm the vice president. We do put on the Mark Kaufman workshop every year to kind of give some tracks guidance from a media perspective of ways they can enhance their product. And this year I'm actually not moderating the panel like I normally do. I'm just on the panel on utilizing TikTok and social media to engage a younger generation. And here at Parx, we have so many great horsemen and women that are so engaged on TikTok. And I think it's a great example of organic ways you can grow the sport. Ramon Moya, who I know you've had on, and I just think he has done such an incredible way being so authentic and sharing what he does with people. And they respond to that sort of authenticity.
Yeah, it's the transparency. It's people getting almost feeling like they're in your living room or at the track with you behind the scenes in the barn, and you're being so transparent. There's no editing. And I think that is something that is such an asset that we can be using as an industry, because people don't understand. They see the horses run on the track either on TV or, at the apron, but they don't see what goes into the 5 a.m. workouts and, what happens after those workouts and the cooling out and the grooming and all the things.
All of it. And horses are a 365-day-a-year job. There are no holidays. There are no weekends with horses. Even if you're not doing it on the racetrack, I think horse people in general find that really relatable too. And I think that's the audience that Ramon's really capturing, are horse people that maybe didn't know anything about racing or weren't necessarily fans of racing. And now they're starting to understand there are so many similarities between what they do and what we do on the racetrack.
That's why I think that this partnership is going to be so great, because, our viewers are going to be able to see, behind the scenes from Parx Racing and vice versa. And I think it's going to be a great collaboration. On your guys' end, what made you guys want to kind of work with Hot to Trot and the PHRA to get your product out there?
Well, I think supporting the growth of racing in the Commonwealth is so important. The racing industry provides so many jobs. It preserves open space. It does so much, not just for right here in Bensalem, but for the state as a whole. And you all do such great work across harness racing and thoroughbred racing, bringing everyone together and showing that when we all work together, we can really get our message out there.
Well, we're so excited to have you. Can you just give our listeners, you guys have had On the Rail for quite some time now. This isn't like a new series. It's a new series for Hot to Trot to be a part of it. But you've been making, you were on TV. This was actually a broadcast that was on TV, and you've transitioned more into digital. But tell us what our listeners and viewers can actually expect from what you do with On the Rail.
Well, there's a little bit of everything, and we try to keep it so there's something for everyone, but there'll be some segments that are educational, some segments that are a little bit behind the scenes, some focuses on the horsemen and women, and of course the horses. And occasionally I will read mean tweets that I get, because I do have plenty of those to keep us doing this for years to come.
That's a new twist on the hot seat that we usually put on people. Oh, man. Well, we look forward to it. We don't like the mean tweets. We like positive energies, but sometimes they do make you chuckle.
That's it. You have to laugh at it.
You just have to laugh, yeah.
Oh, well, I'm super excited to collab with you guys, and I know
Likewise.
you're going to be putting in some aftercare horses and plugging that, because that's something that's near and dear to your heart. So we look forward to hearing those stories as well. So I am super pumped for this collab. I know Meadow is, and I think we're like the trifecta here. We're Charlie's Angels.
This is good. Yeah.
PA horse racing. I'm going to get a poster.
Right?
Yeah, I think we need a photo shoot. I'm going to send an email. See if we can get some budget for a photo shoot. We need Charlie Angels with a horse.
I'm so in for this.
Yeah, I think the horse is, Charlie is the horse.
Well, I mean, Charlie horse, of course. This is perfect.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you enjoy this first special episode of Hot to Trot and On the Rail.
Thank you, everyone. Hi everyone, Jessica Paquette, and welcome to On the Rail, our holiday spectacular edition. Really excited for this upcoming episode featuring some great interviews, some features, and of course highlighting some of our favorite holiday traditions. We're looking ahead to 2026, but in the meantime, enjoy this episode.
Ho, ho, ho!
Up next, we caught up with trainer Scott Lake as part of our ongoing Hall of Fame series. Scott has trained some really great racehorses over the course of his career. He's won a ton of races, and he also has a surprising favorite show. Enjoy.
Ho, ho, ho!
Hi everyone, Jessica Paquette joined here with Scott Lake for another Hall of Fame spotlight. Now, Scott, how long have you been training racehorses?
I don't want to count that high. I started in '87, so what's that, 28 years or 48 years?
And whereabouts did you get your start, and how did you wind up here at Parx?
I started at Penn National. My father was an owner. He became an owner. And, you know, at 11 years old, 12 years old, I was walking hots and begged. I said, I'll work for free, which I did for a long time. And, you know, just kind of happened when I turned 20, 21. I took my trainer's test and started.
And early on, what were some of the early struggles, and what did horses teach you really quickly out of the gate?
Early struggles were probably getting owners. I had a couple guys that were, you know, friends with that got me started, and you know, just learning how, hey, look, hey, this isn't just training horses. You're running a business. You got payroll. You got, you know, you got to deal with owners. You got to deal with horses, and it just kind of, you know, you learn as you're going.
The horses are the easy part sometimes, right?
Absolutely, that's the easiest part.
And when did you wind up here at Parx?
My first full year was 1999. E&G Stables offered me some horses here. We made the transition. I left some horses at Penn. Penn actually went on strike, so I brought everything down and then just took off from there.
And year-round racing, I mean, of course we suffer a little bit in the winter, but it is a blessing in that we don't really have to go anywhere, and we're so close to everything. How has that been, having a track that you get to live here?
I mean, it's great because I have kids. You know, my two kids grew up here. Even though I had horses at other racetracks, I had to commute back and forth and stuff like that. I made this my home because it was year-round. They didn't have to move. When they were young, we used to take them to Florida for the winter, but other than that, once they started school, they were here full-time.
And looking back over the course of your career, you've certainly trained some really nice horses. Who are some of the horses that stand out when you're looking back? Well,
Shake You Down was, you know, my highest earner. He was a blessing to have. But I think Thunderella was probably my most talented horse I ever had. We bought him out of the sale. He only, unfortunately, he got hurt in the DeFrancis, but he got beat ahead in the Breeders' Cup Sprint. He was a beast. He was a really, really good horse.
He was very, very fast. And yeah, you've kind of specialized with these warhorse types over the years as well, bringing out the best in these older, hard-trying horses. What did those horses teach you? Well,
growing up at Penn, you know, those horses were just around all the time. You'd have horses make 140, 150 starts a year. I mean, a career, you know, but it seemed like a year. Some of them were done 35 times a year. You know, it was, you know, that's how racing was back then. And, you know, they just taught you how to, you know, how to take care of them, keep them going, and you know, just keep going to the grind all the time.
And those are the kind of horses that really speak to you. If you listen, you can learn so much from them, and you've retired so many through Turning for Home and through other venues here as well. Does it matter to you to make sure that they wind up in a good home?
Yeah, I mean, over the last 15 years or so, I've probably stopped on a horse a little sooner maybe than I normally would have, just because, you know, things have changed. My philosophy has changed with horse racing. As you know, we're under the microscope all the time, so you tend to want to do the right thing and not have something happen and say, oh, let me get one more start, and then something happens.
And let's talk about that a little bit, because if you go back 15, 20 years ago, you were a really aggressive trainer and you were winning a ton of races at a really high percentage clip. And has your philosophy changed over the years?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely changed. You know, I had a great 12, 14-year run where we were, you know, just killing them, and it wore me out. You know, I'm the first to say it. It wore me out. I'm happy to be in one spot now. You know, there's days you wake up and say, man, I wish I had 40 at Delaware and 40 here, but you know what? I'm happy now.
And if you had advice to your younger self training horses, what would you tell yourself?
Find a better accountant when you started. I'm still fighting that battle from what happened with my accountant back then. You know, who's passed on since then, but it's been a nightmare. But you know, I would say, listen, put good people. You want to be the dumbest guy in the room around your team that you hire.
That's a good philosophy. I'm Jessica Paquette. This is Scott Lake, and this is a Hall of Fame Spotlight.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Home Alone.
I would probably say Grinch. Elf is definitely a close first, but it's definitely the Grinch.
Gotta go with the Grinch. That's Jim Carrey's Grinch.
Probably have to go Uncle Buck.
Favorite holiday movie is Batman Returns. Or Jim Carrey's The Grinch, one or the other. I love both.
My favorite holiday movie's probably gotta be Friday After Next.
Favorite holiday movie, I'm gonna go with 29th Street. Danny Aiello and Anthony LaPaglia.
Favorite holiday movie, Die Hard with Bruce Willis.
Home Alone 1.
Wagering on horse racing can be confusing, and we're here to help. Enjoy our next How to Wager edition. This is the exotic version.
Ho, ho, ho!
Now they're all in, folks. The fillies are in the gate for the Keystone Sprint. This, my dears, is where the rubber meets the road, the ponies meet the turf, and the truly groovy make their fortunes. Up a big lead at the top of the stretch. What a trippy, trying to stick with him, and down the center of the track, Constantine is closing late. What a trippy is overtaken Puget Sound, now has to fend off Constantine. Those two take it down to the line. What a trippy over Constantine. Come in, don't harsh the vibe.
Excuse me, Miss Jessica. I do hope I'm not bothering your most excellent self. My name is Roger. I heard your announcement, and I have to say, it was positively smashing.
Never bothered to meet a fellow kindred spirit, but what can I do for you? Are you a fan of the races?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I'm trying to be. You see, I placed a few win bets, some rather daring show bets, but I truly, desperately, fundamentally want to understand the exotic wagers. Everyone talks about them like there's some kind of secret language or a cryptic code known only by the inner circle of the groovy elite.
It can certainly feel like that. It can be like trying to decipher a coded message. But we have a few minutes before the next thrilling race. How about you pull up a chair and let's demystify?
Oh, groovy.
I hope the acting's better in the next one.
Yeah, that lead actor sounded like he'd never acted before in his life.
Do you think Roger's a metaphor for something?
I don't know.
So, you're looking to dive into the deep end of the betting pool, huh, kid? The exotic wagers. That's where the real money can be. That's also where you can drown if you're not careful. This ain't for the faint of heart, kid.
Yeah, that's what I hear. What's the first kind? Lay it on me.
Let's start with the exacta. Probably the most common one that folks jump into. It's where you pick horses to finish first and second. But this ain't no close enough game. They have to come in the exact order. That's why it's called the exacta. So let's say you pick the 4 and 2. They better come in 4 and 2.
That's bold. But what if I can't call who's first and second? Maybe the order's a little bit unpredictable.
Good question, kid. Horse racing can be an unpredictable game, and that's where the boxed exacta comes in. You pick your 2 horses. We'll stick with 4 and 2 here, and they can finish first and second in any order. 2-4 and 4-2. Of course, it costs a little bit more, but think about it as buying a little bit of an insurance policy.
Yeah. More shots at the prize, more dough on the line. I got it. What's the next level?
Enter the trifecta. Similar to the exacta, but a little bit harder. You pick 3 horses. They have to finish first, second, and third. And yeah, before you ask, you can box it as well. Think about all the possibilities to cash in or lose your shirt.
Yeah, 3 horses. That sounds like a long shot. Those odds must be huge.
They can be, kid, but the payouts, they can be phenomenal. Enough to make a man forget his troubles for a minute or two. This ain't no blind luck, however. You gotta know the horses, you gotta know the jockeys, and you have to know even the track conditions if you have any chance of walking away with a little dough in your pocket. Feeling brave, kid? Let's talk about the superfecta.
Superfecta? That sounds super.
Great. ...2025 was certainly a memorable year here at Parx. Here's a look back at the milestones that shaped the year, including wins by jockeys, trainers, and of course, the horses.
Ho, ho, ho!
We do congratulate Fred Robert Reed Jr. on win number 1,000.
First training win for Ben Dunn. Win number 500 for Abner Adorno. Trying to rally, but Wonder Girl Carly, just peachy in her debut. Wonder Girl Carly over Mischievous Twins. Trying to hold off, dry powder to the inside, fights on. Clico down to the line, get that champagne ready. Clico's the winner of the cotillion. And Baeza, Magnitude flying late, but Baeza gets his moment in the sun in the Pennsylvania Derby. Baeza over Magnitude.
Probably say trampoline as a kid. I mean, I had multiple trampolines, they blew away, but I mean, all the trampolines I got as a kid were awesome. Always had fun on them and great time on them, so.
Best gift I've ever received. So, backstory, I'm talking to my girlfriend about how truckers usually had a little hula dancer that would be sitting on their dash, and I said, oh, it would be cool if I had one of those, but of you. And she ended up going and getting a whole bunch of clay and making a mini version of herself as a bobblehead, so like a little hula dancer thing. So that's probably the best gift I've ever received.
Probably when I was a kid, when my parents got me a flugelhorn. That was probably the best present.
My parents got me a trip to the Virgin Islands to visit my aunt who lives there one time. That was a good one, or a paintball gun when I was real little. Probably too young to have a paintball gun.
I think the best gift I ever received was probably my Game Boy Color. I got Pokemon Yellow. I think it changed my life.
Best gift, my firstborn was born December 20th, 1999, right before Christmas. So I'm going to call that my best gift ever.
Best gift, 2009, my daughter was born November 27th, and I remember that Christmas like it was yesterday. And I think that was the best gift I was ever had.
All right, favorite holiday gift, probably my first road bike I got about 10 years ago.
But the biggest gift that I've ever had is because I've lived my whole life as a gypsy. For the last 30 years before coming here, I lived on the road. And to have time with my wife and sons, which I didn't have that as a kid. We didn't have that family experience because we were always doing church stuff constantly. To be able to spend time with my sons and my wife, that was a huge gift. So that is a twofold thing from me.
Thank you for watching On the Rail. I hope everyone gets exactly what they want this holiday season. I know, I want a pony. Looking ahead to 2026, it is the year of the horse, and we have so much to celebrate in the upcoming year. Happy holidays, everyone.